This is shit. Welcome to YouTube's favorite K-pop show, DK News. David, hot as tea. First off, the Korean war tensions are rising in the Korean peninsula, and surprisingly, a North Korean noodle chef starts bullying the South Korean president. Oh no, why noodle chef? Why North Korean Baek Jong-un? And next we have 2Z, a group that
Nobody knows.
A rookie K-pop group. They actually posted about Black Lives Matter a few days ago, and then they made a big oopsie by posting a stupid ass song that also includes the sample of George Floyd's last words.
Right. And last but not least, we have something to congratulate. Twice has officially earned their 100th win in music programs, but there's a mild controversy with their singing skills issues.
What now? And on to the first news.
Korean war tensions are rising, and a North Korean noodle chef bullies the South Korean president Moon Jae-in. Tension in the Korean peninsula is back again, as always. And as Kim Yo-jong, the sister of North Korea's supreme leader Kim Jong-un, started threatening with possible military action against South Korea, the supreme sister stated that she felt it is time to break relationships with the South Korean government and that she would soon take action.
Please break all relationships. I don't want none of that shit.
Okay. Although it's unknown to what specific military action she's referring to, the South Korean government assembled an emergency NCS National Security Council to discuss about the issue. Other than this provocation, North Korea has already suspended all communication lines with South Korea and has threatened that it would bomb and demolish the communication headquarters. And the whole reason to this is because the supreme sister, Kim Yo-jong, was infuriated with floating balloons.
Oh no, balloons!
That were sent over the border. These floating balloons are called bira, which is the Japanese version of pronouncing bill, as in like leaflets. These biras were used throughout history ever since the Korean War, which contain various material inside, such as letters to families that got divided, or propaganda, newspapers updating each other, etc. The contents also contain very defamatory stuff, such as photoshopped images of the supreme leaders of North Korea doing weird stuff.
Yes, so, I love that shit.
Yeah, there's some grotesque shit in those biras.
And they also have like a lot of porn, because like, oh, come to South Korea where there's beautiful women waiting to be married and sleep with
AKA propaganda.
Yes.
So yeah, there's a lot of shady and weird stuff in those biras. The biras this time were reportedly thrown by North Korean defectors. There are contradicting views on these activities by these defectors, as some argue that flying these biras are trying to help more North Koreans struggling in poverty by enlightening them of the situation in South Korea, how freedom is good and all, and giving them courage, sending them rice and food. In the contrary, skeptical viewpoints argue that these balloon activities are stimulated by conservative US organizations that support financial compensation to defectors for their activities. According to some reports, there was some kind of evidence that these North Korean defectors were getting their funds from US organizations. I don't know what the motive it is for them.
CIA is behind everything.
I don't know, but anyways, basically it seems like our President Moon's past efforts are going into ashes because our president is known to be the mediator and preacher of peace. He has always dreamt of reunification and a good relationship with the North. Ironically, despite all his efforts, this time a North Korean cold noodle chef mocked and criticized our president. Now, North Korea is notorious with his big and rough mouth and has called South Korean leaders a lot of things in the past, but this is the first time a civilian, not even a politician, has appeared to the table insulting the South Korean president.
And it's national news. A fucking noodle chef. A noodle chef who, I guess he served noodles to President Moon Jae-in when he was visiting the North Korean border
summit
stuff.
Yeah.
But a noodle chef.
So this noodle chef is not just anybody. He is actually the chef of the famous cold noodle restaurant in North Korea called Ongryugan. Every visitor to North Korea has to visit this place because it's like this well-known restaurant for cold noodles. And North Korea is famous for its cold noodles, by the way, and this restaurant is the representative. So yeah, this guy is probably like the Gordon Ramsay. I guess.
Right. Gordon Ramsay takes shots at random ass.
Yeah,
politicians.
I guess like Trump. So last time the two leaders of the North and South met, Kim Jong-un served cold noodles made from this restaurant to our president. But the chef of Ongryugan came out on the 13th recently saying that
when the South Korean officials and the president visited the North and ate our famous Ongryugan cold noodles, they were all loud and hyped as if they would make some big changes, but they haven't done a single thing until now and has rather actually stuck a nail in our heart. They couldn't even prevent the blasphemy and insult towards our supreme leader.
referring to the biras.
I think this translation doesn't do it justice.
Okay, you do it.
I can't do it, but like the wording they use,
처먹고.
like they treated our president
like a pig.
Yeah, basically, like an animal. I wish there was a more accurate translation.
Currently, South Koreans are showing mixed reactions towards the strong statement made by a random-ass North Korean chef. Some are saying that we shouldn't let them do and say whatever they want and recover our dignity, while some are mocking President Moon even more, mentioning all the efforts he has put into this relationship, but getting this kind of behavior. People are basically comparing and saying the president is like a naive dude getting manipulated and leashed by a gold digger girlfriend.
Pretty accurate.
We're sending aid, we're sending messages of peace constantly.
It's a very manipulative relationship.
Yeah, it's like a one-way relationship where we send all the love and all that comes back is like, you know, sometimes some love, but sometimes a lot of hate.
One little thing goes wrong and it's enough to trigger this whole,
and then next you have to send the Chanel back. Right. So what do you think of all these pitas and how do you think our government should respond to this whole issue?
I don't think the pitas, you know, they were just the catalyst. They were not the main reason why North Korea is deciding to act this way.
Yeah.
North Korea is going through a rough time because of the corona
and the sanctions.
There's a trade with China, which is probably their only like source of actual trade. It's pretty much non-existent. I heard they're running out of money. They're running out of food. So in desperate times, you know, it's not surprising. North Korea is always acting up. They're desperate when they're hungry and shit like that. As a South Korean who's lived his entire life through this shit, like I'm like whatever.
Yeah, like chill about this. Like,
shut the fuck up. Yeah, here's your rice and go eat some rice, man. So I honestly don't care, and I personally think, you know, the piras, they do their job. They do have an effect, perhaps letting the civilians know about this, and also they give out rice too. It's not just like some propaganda shit. They actually try to help the people. So I think it does have an effect, and I find it funny that the South Korean government, I don't want to be too political here, but they keep trying to make peace even at this stage when this cool noodle restaurant guy says some shit, and also like they threaten, the North Korean government threatened to bomb connections so that they would never be able to communicate anymore. The day after they threatened that, the ruling party people said, let's try to make an agreement to end the war. Like, this is not a friendly action. When your girlfriend slaps you, you're not like, okay, I get you, let's try to end this war. The North Korea, like, they're getting pissed off from propaganda paper, and that's enough to like have them throw a whole fit. I think what that shows is that they're not a country that you can really deal with diplomatically. And this is not a country that we should even give a shit about. So
you said you weren't gonna get too political.
Well, I'm happy they're cutting all connections. Them, like they can go themselves, starve to death, or whatever they're doing there.
Super conservative.
I'm waving my South Korean flag.
Wave the American flag too.
And the Israeli flag. You know what the more up thing is?
What?
So the government is trying to punish these people, these North Korean defectors who are essentially activists. They're human rights activists in some sense because they're trying to enlighten, give food to these people, these North Koreans who are probably not getting the aid they need. These people are essentially humanitarian, you know, activists. But the South Korean government is trying to right now punish these, put them in prison. It's a disgrace that they don't have the balls to say anything to North Korea. They're like, oh, please, let's make peace. And then when they have these people who are doing something humanitarian, they're like, okay, you guys are gonna go to prison. So yeah, that. Like, let's all cut connections. I don't give a shit. They can go suck a dick. Let's live our own lives, okay? North Korea, you live your own little like hermit kingdom life. I don't care. And we'll live our democracy.
Okay,
That was a lot.
here comes the debate because I have like a totally different point of view. I agree that the whole core of this issue isn't the betas because the betas have been, as I said, been going on for like
ages,
decades. That doesn't make sense. That's just like an excuse to steal more funds or like rice from our government. So I do agree on that point. I kind of disagree that the betas are effective because, to be honest, in this time and era, we already know that from North Korean defectors that they have K-dramas, they have everything. They have Innisfree there.
K-skincare.
Yeah, if you just have the means, you can get anything South Korean there. And all the citizens there actually know that how South Korea is developed and how they're a hermit kingdom and also. I don't think the propaganda and the weird ass, flyers are gonna do it anymore. So diplomatically, I don't agree on punishing these activists, but I don't agree on continuing as well.
Whatever the fuck they want.
Yeah, like sending rice is okay, but like sending that propaganda shit, which is causing a diplomatic problem, whether it's an actual problem or not, the leadership there is making an excuse out of it. So why not just stop? While I agree that our government is too passive about this, they're too submissive, they're just like, they were showing their weak side. I also do disagree that we shouldn't cut all connections with North Korea because at the end, we're all one nation. North Korea is closer to China at this point. If there were to be like a certain, war or whatever outbreak of conflict that happens, North Korea is probably gonna become China's land. And I don't want to see that happening because, we share the same language, we share the same history, and just because a war divided us, getting stolen that land and our heritage and our people from China, I cannot accept that. I do think we have to make continuous effects in trying to make peace and reunificate in the broad perspective. And also, I don't think disconnecting and conflicting with each other is good because like any kind of war is war. At the end, one missile in Seoul will just devastate the whole economy.
At least the housing prices will go down.
No. There's a tricky diplomatic situation here, but I would side a little bit more towards the current government because peace is always the best. You can't take a risk of making conflicts with this rogue country that doesn't deal with rational sense. We're superior in economy and everything living thing. Why not just give them aid in a humanitarian perspective and just wait out until their own system demolishes them?
So give them aid until they crumble?
Yeah, I mean, they can't go on like this forever.
Look where the aid got us. They got us nuclear weapons. I think whatever the we do, they're gonna be like this anyway. So why waste our energy? Why waste our time? Who gives a shit? They're never gonna be able to start a war.
So I think we're both showing our personalities on how we deal with the relationship right now.
Go those guys. And I'm sorry this is very long. Okay, so more on the after show later tomorrow. But Trump is crazy. North Korea is crazy. So when two crazy people meet, North Korea has finally met its match.
Yeah, the crazier person wins.
Right, exactly.
I think South Korea is in a very tricky situation between China, Japan, US, and North Korea. So geopolitically, I think we should stay neutral and just like stay here until, until we see some kind of light and then, maybe go in the way of reunification.
Next news, K-pop band 2Z receives heavy criticism for sampling George Floyd in a song.
That title itself is wrong.
On June 1st, rookie K-pop band 2Z posted about George Floyd with a picture of them taking a knee. Have you seen that picture?
Yeah.
They were one of the first K-pop artists to post about the Black Lives Matter movement.
Good for them.
And they gained a lot of following after. They still remain only one of the few people in Korea to post a picture of them taking a knee. I don't think that's a thing here. People don't know about that. Now, a few days later on June 10th, one of the members named Chun Woong made another post about Black Lives Matter, this time in the form of a song. The lyrics he wrote tried to call out the police involved in George Floyd's death. The lyrics were shit, but what's even more disturbing is how this dude included a sample of George Floyd saying "I can't breathe" in the middle of the song. I don't think we'll include this in this video, but you can go look it up in Twitter if you really want to listen.
Up there somewhere.
Yes, it's still up there. Now, while I think art has no boundaries, the shitty tone-deaf lyrics of this song don't seem to really justify the use of this dying man's last words. Let's just read the lyrics, okay? This is a joke.
If it was some like Black Eyed Peas, "Where Is the Love" kind of song.
I mean, this is like the worst lyrics in the world.
Yeah, if it was like Kendrick Lamar using his words for like, anti-racism and stuff.
Ring Ding Dong had better lyrics than this. Black people, what's the matter? I like it black color so better. Yellow people, what's the matter? I like it yellow color so better. Stop policer, please help me stop
What's a policer.
I don't know. I think it's police
officer?
I have no idea. Look at the people that are angry at your actions. Look at Michael Jordan, Travis Scott, 2 Chainz. Black people are superior, stupid. Your actions are making white people become insulted. Your actions are making white people guilt. I don't know, this line about Michael Jordan, Travis Scott, 2 Chainz, and
Those
how
lines are trippy.
black people being superior. And then he goes on saying, no racism.
There's no logic behind that. There's no narrative behind it.
Apart from being tone deaf, it's like shitty ass lyrics, alright? And this was not taken very well. It received a lot of backlash. Soon, Hyunwoong deleted the song and apologized, saying an even worse thing. Okay, so he said, I wanted to make it known to the world other special ways. I was too excited. I didn't mean anything bad. I'm sorry. Okay, I get that. It's really my fault. There's a sampling of George Floyd on the song. Many people listen to his voice and join the movement. Okay, I agree. Since I was young, I love black people, hip hop, and basketball. I am reflecting on what I did. I acknowledge my wrongdoings.
This guy needs to know how to shut his mouth.
Oh, this guy just shut the f up.
I mean, it was okay until they did the knee thing, the Black Lives Matter supporting statement. It was okay until then. And it was okay until the first page of the apology. This guy just needs to stop at the first verse.
I love black people, hip hop, and basketball.
Oh my god. I love kimchi.
I love kimchi fried rice. I love hamburger. And Sprite.
I definitely think the reason why artists are banned from using social media are because of shit like this. Like, once you let them loose, you don't know what shit's gonna happen, man. Okay, I hope he learned his lesson. The group later also came out with an apology that was like the standard K-pop apology. Yeah, whatever, I'm not gonna read that. Now, last week I said K-pop groups should have the balls to speak out about issues like this, but considering how tone deaf some of the shit seems to be, I am just having second thoughts. So do you think this is why perhaps they are not saying anything?
Yeah,
they don't know how to say shit in a proper manner?
The labels are afraid of the risk. I told you about risk management, and the labels are afraid that they cannot control their idols, which haven't got the education, the proper education on these social issues, and they might do shit like this. And you never know what's gonna happen. Like, you gotta be really, really educated on these kind of issues, and the reality is idols don't know shit. They've just been practicing. So
I mean,
like,
most Koreans probably would not.
Yeah, both even educational Koreans here, like even politicians aren't that educated on the whole systemic racism and all those kind of issues. But how would idols who are basically detached from the society know about these kind of stuff and speak out about it? His reaction was good until the first verse. When he supported it, when he knelt his knee, I could feel his feelings. And showing your support, using your platform until that phase is okay. But once you try to get, I don't think he was trying to get clout from it, but regardless of the intentions, once you're trying to, you know, go deeper inside of it without knowing it, it actually becomes an arrow back to you, and the labels can't risk that.
I think the dude was somewhat genuine. I don't know if it was 100% genuine.
It was genuine,
but I think
he
had intentions, but good intentions.
Yeah.
I do think artists, if they want to be respected, should talk about it, but they should talk about it after actually doing some research.
Yeah, I mean, if you're gonna write a freaking song, you better write it, not skimming through Twitter. Like, at least do some research.
You know what the most infuriating thing was? 2 weeks ago, Jim Jones, Sugar Sample.
Yeah.
Like, that was a whole thing. Does this guy not read the fucking news? Well, that was literally the week before.
Yeah.
And entire Korea, you know, was up in arms about, like,
Dispatch.
you know, be careful of who you sample and be careful of the context. And I understand, like, he tried to use this as a tribute, but the way it was executed, and just write some good lyrics, man.
Do
like,
some research first. Yeah.
No, write some fucking. This is shit.
Okay, don't be too hard on him.
Okay, I'm sorry. He's a kid.
He's an unknown new
He's a
group
kid. Yeah.
So he learned his lesson. It was good that he showed support and used his platform. I don't know if he opened his purse or not, but let's all just agree to stop at that phase if you don't have enough education or knowledge on that issue.
And I still do think they need to speak up.
Yep.
But if you're dumb, don't try to say too much. Okay? This is just generally showing K-pop in general, it lacks, you know, it's tone deaf to other markets, societies.
Yeah.
It needs to either A, educate itself if it wants to do business, or don't do business in America. Okay?
These are actually the two conclusions we concluded in our last after show after a hot debate. We both had consensus that we need education in K-pop. That is the key solution.
Or don't go out.
Yeah, so there's going to be an after show for this segment as well. Yeah, tomorrow. So check it out. And on to the next news. So Twice finally beats SNSD, Girls' Generation, the nation's girl group, in music show wins. AKA Twice officially becomes the #1 girl group of Korea. I don't think anybody would disagree to this at this point, right? The records and the statistics just show. So girl group Twice performed their new title song More and More on the 10th on MBC's Show Champion, 11th on Mnet's M Countdown, and 12th on KBS's Music Bank, and they sweeped all the #1 spots on each show, and the win on the 12th was actually Twice's official 100th win on music shows. Special MC Taeyeon happily announced their 100th win. Moreover, their More and More music video surpassed 100 million views easily, making it their 12th music video to surpass 100 million views. And this record is unprecedented for a K-pop girl group. Twice, as always, stood humble, stating that it was due to the much love ONCE sent them that made their 100th win possible, and that they would work even harder. Oh my god, these girls, I feel bad for them because like they've been grinding from day one.
How do you work even harder from there?
Like JYP is notorious for not giving a lot of vacation to these girls. Anyways, but the story doesn't end here. On the 13th, Twice got another #1 on Show Music Core, which gave them their 101st win, 101st win, 101th win, but also the official title of the most #1 wins as a K-pop girl group in K-pop history. Before Twice, Girls' Generation, SNSD, amazing group as well, held the record of 100 wins on music shows. I guess they just stopped after 100 wins because it just seems like a big coincidence. After their 100th win, they just stopped. Yeah, anyways, 100 wins. They wouldn't have guessed that there would be a group that would break the 100 record. Twice has surpassed that now, and the only K-pop group above Twice is EXO with 117 wins. And then comes SNSD with 100 wins, and then there's BTS with 90, Big Bang 87, Choyongpil with 80.
Damn,
Grandpa. Grandpa. Red Velvet with 73, G-Friend with 66. I'm pretty surprised with G-Friend's.
Me too, actually.
And IU with 65 and more.
They have more than IU. I'm
so
surprised.
Big Hit be getting them golden eggs.
Right.
Sadly, there are many idols that don't even get a single #1 win on music
Not even
shows.
a #1 charting.
Yeah, for years until they disband.
Right.
So the 100 wins are just truly amazing. So anyways, congratulations to Twice. But unfortunately, after the happy 100th win, there was a mild controversy revolving around Twice's singing skills, especially Momo's, as a clip of them singing during the encore of More and More got viral. And this is the clip. Now let me say this. I gotta admit that the singing sounds off.
Not just off, it was like, it's kind of embarrassing.
Yeah, Twice was never known for their vocal skills that much. There are vocals, but Momo isn't like a vocal focused member. I think we shouldn't put too much attention and hate on it because #1, it was during the encore and they were obviously not singing their best, and they were distracted by a lot of stuff. They were bowing to other idols. And I've seen many idols during encore singing in very funny ways or very casually. If you suddenly start singing in that environment, it's not going to be the most accurate singing. Plus, matching the tone and pitch with the in-ears are extremely hard in that kind of situation, so sometimes the in-ears get in a way. But there are tons of other footages that show flawless and decent singing from the members. So cherry-picking this one encore stage and mocking or criticizing their singing is just pure hating after their 100th win. So
I don't know if it's pure hating.
I think it's pure hating because like it's just picking it. Like there are other stages that validate that their singing skills are over par, but just like picking this one Oopsie and then
let's not pretend that like
it's not the best.
Let's not pretend that Twice are like Mamamoo.
Yeah, I'm saying it's not
like
the best.
They're not known for their vocals.
Yeah.
And no one thinks of them as a vocal group.
Right.
Really.
I agree.
So I think, no one's really saying disband Twice. No one's saying that. Everybody's just like, okay, well, what did you expect?
And there are a lot of comments saying like this is an embarrassment.
And
this
honestly,
is like a shame.
it is kind of an embarrassing
As
moment
like
for Twice to say like, oh, they're not in a familiar environment. They just suddenly started singing. Yo, this is their 101st win.
I mean,
100th win. Okay, like
a...
like they've been winning every single time. They know what to expect. It's not like some rookie girl group that, you know, oh my god, suddenly like they're all emotional and shit. Like this is
it's
they've
their
been
100th win. That's why they're more emotional.
I mean, they've been doing this shit for a while. They know like what to do. I don't think like that excuse really makes sense, or the other excuse of like, oh, the in-ears.
Yeah.
Like that makes zero sense because the in-ears, they're there to monitor what you're singing. So to say that in-ears got in the way, maybe it did. Maybe the MR or the whatever
the voice was too loud or something,
or it was not playing in your in-ears.
Or you could hear the producers talking
but
after
still,
the show. About the in-ears, I gotta clarify though. Where I got that from is if you look at the footage very specifically,
right,
you can see that all the other members, excluding Sana and Momo, are not having in-ears on. And I actually checked with my friend that actually worked with Show Champion before, and she said it is not normal to wear in-ears during the encore because that shows that you already know you're number one and that you'll do an encore. But it's a norm to take all the in-ears off to show respect to each groups, that even if you know you're gonna get number one. So like it was an awkward situation that Momo and Sana had in-ears on, and you can see that Momo's like, she's like bowing down to the other idols, but at the same time she's like constantly touching her in-ears and trying to reach for the pack, so she's constantly like tweaking something. But anyways, that's why I thought like the in-ears might have got in some kind of way, either it's blocking her audio reception, or either there's some kind of, you know, a static or like some kind of noise issue inside. I thought that was kind of weird.
That is a possibility, but I'm not really buying it. But it's okay. I don't really care. Like, that's the thing. Like, why is this even fucking news?
Right. That's exactly what I'm saying
like,
too.
They're not great vocalists. Well, that's not hating. That's
no. You got to see the comments on the actual encore video. Like, it's pretty harsh. They're saying it's a national embarrassment that Twice did something like this.
Well, everybody has a bad day.
Yeah, she looked shocked herself, and I think she realized
like, what the fuck is
something's wrong, and I think she had some problem with her.
It's okay. Every great artist has their oopsies.
Yeah. I mean,
I don't care. I don't care. That's my conclusion. I don't give a shit. So Twice, I think this is the longest running dominant period for a girl group. Girls' Generation, personally, I think they had more impact. That G and 소원을 말해봐, those two songs were like the greatest back-to-back jabs in perhaps even K-pop history, I would say. But in terms of longevity, there's no girl group that's ever gonna come close to Twice. Twice is still relevant right now. That's amazing.
There are a lot of Twice haters.
And the reason why that shit's like going viral is because they're so popular. Who's hating Twice?
Saying that their songs are all redundant, and now there's now a different song and saying like, oh, this doesn't fit their concept. You know,
whatever.
Their singing is bad.
Everybody,
you know,
there's
they're
always
only
gonna be
visuals.
haters.
They're not talented. Blah 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 blah.
There's always gonna be haters.
Probably everybody's gonna say I'm defending them because I'm a JYP investor, but
probably.
But you should understand the reason I became a JYP investor is because I like Twice. It's opposite. I think everyone should just stop with their stupid hate, waste of energy, and just congratulate a group that made a milestone of 101 plus wins in music shows. That's K-pop history. We'll have to see if they can surpass EXO in the future.
I think they can.
If they do two more comebacks, they can.
This song's a little weak though.
This song, to be honest, it's not my cup of tea.
They got number one because they're Twice, not because the song was great.
Right.
Whereas previous songs, I felt like, okay, this is a number one song. Hopefully more from Twice. We'll see what they have in store for you guys. And we have an after show. That's what we have in store for you.
Yay!
That's happening tomorrow on June 16th, Tuesday at 1 p.m. Korean Standard Time on patreon.com/Dkdktv. We have a 1-hour live stream for the after show where we talk about the issues that we discussed today. I'm sure we'll talk a lot about the first issue, the North Korea stuff, and maybe and also maybe some other news that we haven't discussed in this week's episode.
And you guys can join on in the debate by commenting real time.
Yeah, so come join the conversation with us on patreon.com/Dkdktv. The live stream is tomorrow, June 16th at 1 p.m. Korean Standard Time. And we will see you guys next time. Bye-bye.